Hey guys, what's going on? I just got back from training with my boys. We did a little bit of jiu-jitsu. We did some MMA, man. He's got a fight coming up, so I'm making sure he's all good to go, man. I just got out the shower, man. I got a bunch of college stuff to do, but this is more important. Um, I got my fan on, so if it's loud, I apologize. I've been a little busy. My girl just moved in, so my joint's a little messy, but we're just gonna keep going into it, bro. The UFC just cut some guys, and I just want to talk about some of these guys. I want to talk about all of them starting from least significant to the most significant, and then I got something to yap about at the end. So stay tuned for that, guys. First guy we got to talk about here is Nathan Felt Nathan Fletcher. His name is Nathan Fletcher, bro. This was kind of weird because he's already fought for Cage Warriors like since his last UFC fight, but I guess he was like still on contract or something. Because I know Cage Warriors, they kind of have a thing going with the UFC. Maybe it's like it's like pretty much the G League. It's like the G League for all the freaking European fighters, bro. Cage Warriors is like G League, NBA equivalent. So he already fought for Cage Warriors since his last fight. He won, but his last fight in the UFC, he got knocked out by Rinya Nakamura, who is actually a really good guy. Like I've always been really high on Rinya Nakamura, man. His only loss he has, I remember, dude, because I picked him and I was telling all my friends, like, this guy's an insane Japanese wrestler. He's going to come. He didn't shoot a single takedown in that fight. He's just standing bang. I don't even know who the kid he fought was, bro, but he lost. But Rinya Nakamura, bro, when he's on top of his game, bro, he's one of the best in that division. He's like a dark horse in that division. I've always liked him. But losing to him, man, it's not a really big deal. And Nathan Fletcher also lost to I'm blanking on the kid's name right now, but he's 1-2 in the UFC, man. He could honestly come back. He can make a comeback, man. It's not like he's that old, and he's already got a win on Cage Warriors, man. Like he could come back. You know, maybe he's just gonna stay on Cage Warriors for a little bit, but like he could come back to the UFC, man. I don't know how good he's gonna be. He's also got really big eyebrows, which is besides the point. But who knows how good he'll be, man? We'll see. Moving on, we got Brad Riddell, man. Brad Riddell. Yeah, he hasn't fought in like 3.5 years, guys. He was on a three-fight losing streak. I believe it was Jalen Turner, Rafael Fiziev, and Renato Moicano. They all finished him. But it's been 3.5 years. He also had a fight booked with Thiago Moises in 2024, but that got canceled. He did beat Drew Dober. So, uh, Drew Dober's been trending recently. I like my boy Drew Dober, but Brad Riddell. I'm messing up these names, man. Maybe I got hit in the head too much. No, I'm just kidding. I shoot takedowns in MMA sparring. I don't get hit. But anyways, he did beat Drew Dober. Brad Riddell. Yeah. Brad Riddell hasn't fought in a long time. 3-fight losing streak, all finishes. Hasn't fought since like 2022 or something like that, man. No, I think it was it? I think it was 2022. His last fight was not the Moicano. 2022, man. So I'm not surprised to see him go. I mean, it does suck to see him go because he was really fun to watch. He had that scrap with Jamie Malarkey that was pretty good, man. But freaking, I mean, who knows, man? You can't not fight in the UFC for 3.5 years unless you're freaking Conor McGregor. That's if you're not Conor McGregor, man, you cannot not fight for 3.5 years, man. But moving on, we got Myra Bueno Silva. Now listen, bro. This is what I'm happy to see. I don't mean to hate. I don't mean to hate on someone's dreams. You know, props to her for putting all that work in, man. But I did not like. Anytime I was watching a card and I see Myra Bueno Silva was on, I got pissed off. Um, she got a title shot off a no contest against Holly Holm. They overturned it and made it a no contest, and she got a title shot off of that. And then that was one of the weirdest fights I ever seen, bro, against Raquel Pennington on the Strickland freaking Duplessis one like co-main. There's the co-main up in Canada, bro. Gotta represent my boy Strickland. But anyways, freaking it was the co-main on that card. It was just really weird, dude. I remember the fight was kind of bad, but everyone was happy to see Rocky Pennington freaking win the belt, and then it was just really weird, bro. She was like screaming, like losing all of her energy, screaming in the corner in between rounds. I just thought it was corny, bro. And then, dude, her next fight against Macy Chasson, bro. When Macy Chasson like ripped that nasty cut of her eyebrow, bro, I thought Macy Chasson was a bad mofo. I still think she is. I still cheer for Macy Chasson to this day, but that's one of her best wins, and it has not aged that well because freaking Bueno Silva's on a 5-fight losing streak, dude. She's on a 5-fight losing streak. You know, so I do think it was time to cut her, man. I don't think she's gonna come back. I could definitely see her get on like a Netflix card or something. I could totally. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Could anyone else see Myro Buena Silva just on a random Netflix card? You know, the next MVP card that may be. Well, I don't even know. I don't think she's done fighting MMA though. I could definitely see her on some random MVP card fighting like freaking. I don't even know somebody. She'll fight somebody. But we'll see how that goes. Next up. This one hurts. Kobe Covington, bro. Come on, dude. I watched his interview. I don't even know who he was interviewing. I have no idea who was interviewing him. Someone was interviewing him though, and he was talking about how Mick and Hunter wanted him to fight the winner of Malat versus Burns. And I feel like if it was Gilbert Burns, I feel like if Gilbert Burns would have beat Mike Malat, that fight would have happened. But I do not blame Colby Covington. I do not blame Colby Covington for not wanting to fight Mike Malott at the Apex. I don't blame him, dude. I don't blame him. No hate to Mike Malott, bro. But when you're Colby Covington, dude, and you've been like coming off all these main events, you know, like freaking, he had that Joaquin Buckley main event in Tampa, then he had the freaking T-Mobile pay-per-view event versus Edwards, bro. He had freaking the Masvidal fight. Like he's had some massive fights. He's had some massive fights, dude. And then especially when he's doing as good as he is in RAF, man. Why would he want to fight Mike Malott in the Apex? Why would he want to do that, man? So I don't blame him for not wanting to do that. But I do think the UFC's had enough of him. And honestly, as much as I like Kobe, man, there's no room for him in the welterweight division anymore. Like, if he would have beat Mike Malott, what would you do with him, man? Give him Kevin Holland, you know? And Kobe's like 37, I think. So he doesn't have that much time left to string together a run. And even if he were to go on a run, like, he just lost to Joaquin Buckley. I love Joaquin Buckley. He used to train at Murcielago. Um, I've been on his freaking live stream, bro. Like, I love Joaquin Buckley, bro. But come on, man. That loss has not aged well, man. He's gotten schooled by freaking Usman and Sean Brady. Like, where does freaking Kobe Covington fit into this welterweight equation, man? I just don't think there's a spot for him, man. So, you know, I hope he does good in RAF, man. You know, he's been tearing it up. Um, I know the competition he's faced has been like maybe a little questionable, like Luke Rockhold and Dylan Dennis. A little bit questionable, right? Dylan Dennis is a jiu-jitsu guy. Isn't he grappling? He's supposed to be wrestling Hamzat Chimaev, bro. If Colby teched him, what is Hamzat Chimaev gonna do to him, man? I know Colby's a good wrestler, but Hamzat Chimaev's like in his prime, bro. That's another discussion, though. I love RAF. Different discussion. Let's get back to Colby Covington, bro. I'm excited to see him and Chris Weidman. I feel like he's gonna dog on Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman's a good wrestler, but I think Colby's better. I think him versus Arman Sarukian would be good. But I also think Colby's gonna have another MMA fight. Am I crazy for thinking that Colby's gonna fight MMA again? I have no idea, like where it's gonna be. Rather, it's another MVP. I feel like that would be a crazy main event. I feel like Dylan Dennis, Colby Covington in MMA for like an MVP event would be fire. Um, Maybe not a good fight, but the buildup would be good. It might not be a good fight, but the buildup would be good, and they would sell pay-per-views. But I would like to see Colby come back to MMA eventually. Probably not the UFC. There's just no room for him there. I feel like the Bo Nickel fight would have been cool, but I do feel like he would have lost to Bo Nickel. Um, It is what it is, man. Moving on, bro. He did not get cut, but let's be for real with ourselves here, guys. Tai Tuivasa. 7-fight losing streak, bro. And since he didn't get cut, it's likely he's going to get another fight. The record being 8. He's going to get Tony Ferguson's record, bro. Please. I got Tony Ferguson on my wall up here. I love Tony Ferguson, bro. I hope Tai Tuivasa breaks that record so my boy Tony is not associated anymore. Because Tony has been tearing it up in the boxing, bro. Listen, I know I said tearing it up as if it's been like 1 or 2 fights. I don't even, it might only be 1 fight. But he's been doing good for himself, man. I want to see Tai Tuivasa win, bro, but I do want to see Tony Ferguson get off of that freaking run of doom, cemented forever in history. But yeah, Tai Tuivasa, bro. I thought they were gonna cut him after the Louis Sutherland fight, man. No, listen, man. You lose to Louis Sutherland, bro. I'm the biggest Louis Sutherland fan in the world. I was watching this guy on Levels Fight League. He was on John Aaron's undercard. I love John Aaron's, bro. If you want to talk about niche fighters, bro, John Aaron's, I'm pretty sure he's a featherweight, bro. He used to fight in the UFC. He had this violent fight against this one dude. I think it was Ben Yuan or something. I don't know how to pronounce the kid's name. It was a violent fight, and I was a fan ever since. And then Yusuf Zalal submitted him, and then he got cut. But come on, man, it's Yusuf Zalal. I love John Aaron's, man. He got signed by Octagon. But we're not talking about John Aaron's. We're talking about Louis Sutherland, man. I love Louis Sutherland. I shot him a DM after he won that fight, and he responded. He goes, "Thanks, mate." He likes my Instagram comments sometimes, guys. Like, I love Louis Sutherland. But when you get dominated by Louis Sutherland like that and you're tied to Ivasa, bro, you're supposed to be like, you were that close to beating Cyril Gahn. We almost had freaking tied to Ivasa versus John Jones. We almost had tied to Ivasa versus John Jones. And we're getting dominated by Louis Sutherland, man. And we get taken out by Louis Sutherland, and we just don't know what to do. I don't blame him. Louis Sutherland's built like a Cybertruck. If he was on top of me, man, I'd have a problem too. But come on, you gotta at least try. You can't just lay there. And a lot of oh my goodness, that fight feels like a fever dream, bro. It was genuinely 2 unks, just freaking, like it's like 2 uncles at the barbecue, bro, and like freaking. That's what it is, man. 2 unks at the barbecue, man. Tai Tuivasa, man. I'm praying that you at least lose 2 more fights, bro. At least 1 more fight. At least lose 1 more fight. I don't like praying on people's downfalls, bro. Tai Tuivasa, please lose 1 more fight so Tony Ferguson's at least tied with somebody. And then if you're feeling generous, lose another one. And then after that, you can start your title run. Right? After that, title run starts, bro. But we are this close to getting Tony Ferguson's name etched out of the freaking history book of doom, the history book of infamy. We're this close. If we can just get that to happen, bro, I would love that. And again, it sucks it's at the expense of my boy Tai Tuivasa, bro. I like watching him. I genuinely think it's fun watching him. Well, I watched him versus Telson Teixeira, bro. He's like blocking the punches with his face, bro. That was nuts to me. I love Tai Tuivasa, bro, but please, bro. If it wasn't him, I would be cheering for someone else to break the record, bro. If it wasn't him, I'd be cheering for someone else to break the record. But the fact is, we're that close, right? Adesanya might be getting there. I don't think I think Adesanya would retire before he got there, though. Gilbert Burns wasn't that far away either. I don't think. Like he was probably far, but he wasn't that far. But Ty's literally 1 fight away, bro. So don't mean to hate on him, brother, but I would love to see Tony Ferguson. I wish everyone stopped making the jokes with Tony Ferguson and make him out somebody else. Like that's genuinely my boy. Like whenever someone says Tony Ferguson loser, you're Tony Ferguson maxing, bro. Like, come on. Come on, bro. This is turning into a Tony Ferguson rant rather than me reacting to all the people that got cut, bro. But I just think it's funny that freaking all that Colby Covington gets cut, but Tai Tuivasa don't. But hey, man, let me know what you think in the comments below. If I'm tripping, let me know. I think I had some pretty good takes on Ty and Colby, man. I know I didn't have a lot of takes. I just kind of have reactions, bro. But let me know what you think. Drop in the comments down below If I freaking acting like a moron, if I'm acting stupid, let me know. But I think I'm picking the right picks here, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.